Aloha, blessings, namaste, dear ones. It's good to be here, feeling great, feeling very balanced and finding deeper levels of balance in my very busy life, which I am so very, very grateful for. Um, so I wanted to start out this week's talk with our mission statement, the Church of Flames mission statement. And this is for the overall church. And then each of the temples of Flames, because Flames is an acronym for fire, love, art, music, equality, and sustainability. And each of these are temples within the church. Each of them are the entire church is based off of sacred geometry and set up in structure in sacred geometry. And each of those temples has a seed of life, with the president of each temple being the center circle in each seed, and that seed growing into a flower. That is referred to as the mother seed. As we start popping up in different states and areas, different countries, because we very much built this thing to be a worldwide organization. We're not playing around. We're not here to just for fun and games. We're here to take conscientious action to unite people to change the world. The only people that can change the world is the population of the planet. And the only way that that's going to happen is for us all to come together. And that can happen as we ripple out. We really do have huge amounts of power, each one of us. And when we gather together with common goals as groups and communities, we start having huge ripple effects on the planet. And, you know, everybody has a heart, and everybody has a heart chakra, and everybody's heart wants to feel love. Straight up. Doesn't matter how angry you are. It doesn't matter uh, how big your walls are or how tough you are. At the end of the day, when you really break down all the walls, every human being wants to feel love. And every human being wants to feel connected. Every human being wants to feel worthy. Every single human being wants to feel valued, whole, and accepted by their community. There isn't a human being out there that doesn't want to feel accepted. And there's plenty of human beings out there that might feel like that's not the case. But that's just because they got so much protection around this heart chakra because they've been hurt in some way that they're pretending to be tough and buff and too good for love. And you know how you deal with people like that? You love them more. And you love them more. And if you find yourself to be a person that feels like that, love yourself some more. Get in touch with you are worthy. And I think that often we get caught up in our own blame game and our own shame game, that we're too busy judging ourselves to feel worthy of love. And I'm here to tell you and speak to you about this and about personal judgment, shadow. And I'm going to talk later in this conversation, I'm going to be talking about my own shadow and my own self-judgments and my own shadow states, because I'm not pretending to be perfect. And I saw a post from a friend of mine earlier this week, and I decided, you know what? Instead of responding to that on his post, I'm going to talk about that this Wednesday because he was the post was referring to too many people being like too much bright light and love, to the point where he felt like it was fake, and that there needed to be some authenticity there, and people needed to be talking about their shadows, and I agreed with a lot of what he had to say, and I disagreed with a lot of what he had to say. And that doesn't mean I'm right, and it doesn't mean he's wrong, and it doesn't mean he's right, and it doesn't mean I'm wrong. But what I will agree with is the fact that it is important for us to be vulnerable. And it is important for us to be able to talk about our shadow states from a space of non judgment, so that we can start relating to one another, so that people realize, hey, I'm not alone. You know, and that's one of the most important things is when you realize that you're not the only one feeling a certain way, or you're not the only one going through certain challenges. It makes it so that we can relate to one another. It's like all of a sudden you are okay. No, it's that's you're normal. Like, uh, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about later in this address. But I want to start out with uh, the Church of Flames mission statement, because it's really what we're all about. And each of those temples that I was referring to, um, they each have their own mission statement. And they each have their own president, and each of those presidents has their own seat of life in people that are working with them. And those people I trust with everything I hold dear. And I'm really excited to be at this point because we've really laid the foundation for some great things to happen on planet Earth, and some really open to like-minded people starting to gather and bring your talents, bring your gifts, bring your raw, authentic selves, and let's start learning and growing from one another. Let's build some art. Let's dance and make some music. Let's uplift. Let's lift everybody up instead of drag people down. Let's elevate ourselves by being the best that we can be, and learning and growing and consciously increasing our awareness on a daily basis. And sometimes that means uh, seeing what work and making huge shifts into what does work, and playing and exploring with that. We're in this beautiful gift called life, and we're here to thrive. We're here to embrace our divinity. We're here to be peace, love, happiness, bliss, and fulfillment, and experience that fully. So, with that, I'm going to start on the Church of Flames mission statement. Okay, and I want to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for being involved. Thank you for being on this channel and checking it out. If you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. We are doing some magical things right now, and we're about to grow in huge ways, and I'm very grateful for that. Okay, that's enough, and I'm going to start with the mission statement. The Church of Flames, the Church of Flames mission. Co-Flames is the sacred container providing education through arts, wellness, and sustainability for human and planetary evolution. We believe in the conscientious activation of one's God-like self. As creators, we hold sacred the value of free agency and our freedom of choice. In remembering our equanimity and our divinity, we transcend pain, fear, doubt, judgment, and shame into higher vibrational frequencies of compassion, forgiveness, understanding, acceptance, and accountability, expanding our own unique relationship to the divine. Co-Flames is the Church of Fire, Love, art, music, equality, and sustainability that brings ideas into manifestation. Combining ancient wisdom with modern technologies allows for this creation of a sustainable planet. We believe vibrational frequencies hold keys to transform our inner and outer worlds. Fire and sound offer the frequencies that have the power to transform both metaphorically and literally. Ceremony, ritual, movement, and breath are centralized to the expansion of self exploration and loving awareness. As above, so below. We are all one, operating within a unified state of consciousness. By uniting like minded people and resources, we work together with a common purpose, creating peace and abundance for all life on planet Earth. Through education and presenting alternative solutions, we raise our frequency of our collective consciousness now. And this is so, and so it is. Aho. And that's really what the church is all about. Taking it higher. Transforming pain, fear, doubt, judgment, and shame into higher vibrational frequencies of forgiveness, compassion, understanding, acceptance, and accountability. And really focusing on that accountability part, because we are creators. And we're creating all of the time, whether we choose to realize it or not. Every moment we are creating. And every moment we are experiencing, and we have the opportunity of how we're choosing to perceive what we are experiencing. And there's a whole bunch of us out there that are experiencing pain. There's a whole bunch of us out there that are experiencing sorrow and shame and fear. And there's a whole bunch of us out there that are experiencing judgment, judging the people that are in pain, judging the people, judging others, judging ourselves. And I think that accountability and not looking to blame really takes that into a whole new level, and we can start. I also feel like compassion and vulnerability, because vulnerability gives us the ability to be compassionate, to really start relating to one another, to really be there for one another. And by doing so, we start along the path of forgiveness. And in my studies, forgiveness is one of the only things that moves faster than the speed of light backwards in time. And that's just my own research, and at the same time, nothing exists except for now. So, but that's a whole bunch of, that's just my research, my personal beliefs. And the thing about the Church of Flames is it's all about accepting everybody's beliefs, everybody's perspectives, and not judging them, but learning how to relate with one another. Because when we can truly start listening to one another, and without getting in defense mode, without feeling like I need to defend my position because I know I'm right, which I still get caught up in from time to time. And I'm becoming more and more aware of it on a daily basis. And I'm getting better and better on a daily basis. Why? Because that's what I'm choosing to entertain in my mind. That's what I'm focusing on. And so wherever you focus your attention is going to be what you continually think about or experience and experience. So if you want to shift what you're feeling, or what your the direction that you're in, or what you're experiencing, shift where you're focusing your attention, and focus your attention on something that makes you feel good. shift your focus of attention onto the things that you want. Shift your focus of attention in what you're thinking about. And often when you're mad or upset or feeling something that's not blissful, it's often uh, challenging to think of things to shift your focus of attention on. And what I have found in my own practice is that if I if I find myself there, I focus on something I'm grateful for, and I focus on something else I'm grateful for, and then I list something else I'm grateful for, and then all of a sudden I'm have shifted my focus of attention into gratitude, and that seems to be the easiest thing to for me to get out of negative mental states where I'm seeing or experiencing something that doesn't feel good. So anyway, um, I just felt inspired to share that. Um, I don't want to get too far off of the church's mission. However, we're all about ceremony. We're all about the expansion of self exploration, the expansion of loving awareness. Um, and we're all about combining ancient wisdom with modern technology. We're all about creating alternative, affordable solutions to basic human needs, all the way up the hierarchy of needs. Because really, there is absolutely no reason at all for any human being right now to be without shelter. There is no reason for every human being to have access to clean drinking water. There is no reason for every human being not to have access to a shower or some type of bathing place, facility. There is no reason for any human being to be hungry right now. No reason. The only reason that there are people out there without shelter, without water, without food to eat, is because we are not working together. We have not been working together as a human race. The 99%'s too busy, has been too busy judging themselves and judging the 1%, and holding themselves captive to that. And we don't need to be captive to that. All we gotta do is reach out, and connect and connect and connect, and not play the game. And when I say the game, I'm talking about the I'm right, you're wrong game. I'm talking about anything that causes judgment or shame. And if there's anything out there in your life causing judgment or shame, uh, I highly recommend taking a look at that and seeing if you really want to continue to keep on subscribing to that. Because it's all a choice. And when we start working together, we just become a stronger and stronger magnet for more people to come together. And when we start building working models of different ways of doing things, and we are abundant, we become more abundant, we have all of a sudden end up more resources, because every human being on planet Earth is a puzzle piece. Every human being on the planet is part of a great big, I like to refer to it as a geodesic dome, because in a geodesic dome, you have all of these struts that are all different sizes, making different sized triangles depending on what the frequency of the dome is, okay? And every one of those struts is of equal value. They're holding up a balanced part of the weight, and it becomes such an incredible structure because it can handle so much weight. It's incredible. But if one of those struts is compromised and is suffering and gets bent, the whole structure the whole structure is affected. And so when we start looking at community, when we start looking at the world, and we start looking at the fact that we truly are all brothers and sisters on this planet down the genetic line, right? You go up the genetic line, sooner or later you're going to find somebody that you're both related to. And that's just the truth. So why are we caught up in the right wrong game? Why are we caught up in the racism game? We don't need to be. That's silly. You're judging yourself on some level generations back, if that's the case. We can continue and do things the way things have been done for thousands of years, and we can choose not to learn from history. We can do whatever we want to do in this life, and that's the beautiful thing. We have free agency. And even if you're incarcerated, you have the ability to choose where you're holding yourself in your own mind. It's all a choice. So, that being said, this organization is really about bringing people together. And bringing people together in safe spaces where people feel safe enough to be vulnerable with one another. Where people can start relating to each other from their raw, authentic selves. Where creation and art and music is celebrated, where vulnerability is celebrated, where taking risks and into new ways of expressing yourself is celebrated and not judged, and where this way people can really feel connected, and in those spaces my heart opens up. I feel so open and so connected, and when somebody's vulnerable in my presence, I'm just like, wow, oh, that was so beautiful. There's such beauty in vulnerability, because we've been judging ourselves and others for thousands of years. Look at all the wars that have happened in the last 1,000 years. Those wars are because somebody thinks they're right and somebody else thinks they're right, and instead of valuing each other and coming together, they're in conflict, and human lives are just pawns in a chess game. And that doesn't feel good. That isn't what I want for my brothers and sisters. Can you imagine? I mean, think about how horrible war is. Think about your loved ones, your family, the people that you cherish in life. I feel like, everybody's got a mom. Everybody's got a dad, whether they knew them or not. Everybody's got one. And I'm creating other things on planet Earth, and I think war can be a thing of the past as we gain in numbers and grow and connect. And I really do believe in the human race. I believe in myself, I believe in my team, and I believe in the human race. And I do feel like if the more we work together, the more solutions we create. Good ideas take over good ideas and inspire even better ones. And when it's not about the money game, and it's not about the me game, and it starts being about the we game, and for our generations and generations and generations game, for our children and our grandchildren, then all of a sudden we're dropping the ego because we're in a space of service, and we're surrounded by community that's elevating each other, and giving each other tools to navigate our shadows and conflict resolution, find new ways to communicate with one another and accept one another and grow and expand together. Yes. So, if you're into all of those things and want to get involved, please reach out. Please reach out. Um, so, these are the places you can reach out. You can be really active in the entire church, or they're all of the temples are kind of overlaying one another. So there's a temple of fire, and anybody that knows me personally or has followed me for very long knows that I love fire. I love fire so much. It's definitely my element of choice. However, I absolutely love water too. I feel grounded and nurtured and held in water. Uh, kind of like how I feel like in my community right now. My community right now is making me feel like I'm in a great big bathtub just surrounded and held by beautiful water, and I'm just floating. And that's how my community has made me feel over the last week as we had our members meeting last this week and 2 days ago, and it was spectacular. It was so wonderful seeing so many loving, beautiful beings committed to the elevation and transformation of our planet, and being the change that they want to see in the world. And that feels really good. I feel very loved and supported. Um, so with the temples, yeah, we got fire, and the president of the Temple of Fire is this beautiful goddess named Adrienne Colvin, who has been one of the most influential figures in my life. And we've been working on similar projects that have all led to Here and Now and, and the Church of Flames for the last 20 years. And I am so grateful for her. So grateful for her. And she's taught and inspired so countless people on planet Earth in fire. And I think that that's just going to expand and expand and expand. And fire is one of the most transformational elements. Yeah, they're all transformational in their own way. But I really like fire, and I feel like fire brings people together. We all collect around a campfire. We all, you have a certain feeling in your heart and in your mind when you're around a campfire, and that's due to the flicker effect. And if you want to dive more, Google into the flicker effect. Check out Dream Machines. But fire and fire spinning and flow arts is really expanding across the world right now. And the cool thing about flow arts is, it doesn't matter what tool you get into, what toy you play with, you end up becoming ambidextrous. And we're no longer just so right hand dominant. This is our masculine side, right? We're not right hand dominant anymore. Now, all of a sudden, our feminine receptive side is coming into play and creating balance in our mind, which is incredible and has huge benefits. So anybody out there that has been like wanting to get into flow toys and has been limiting themselves because of some belief that you're not good enough, or whatever the belief is that's preventing you from doing what you really want to, what you're really inspired to do, go out and do it. Find somebody that's a flow artist let they're gonna let you play with their toys, because it seems like that's one of the things about flow arts is once you get into it, everybody in those communities are opening themselves up, so they're a lot more open and receptive. Why? They're using their left side. They're open, and they're open to sharing, they're open to, and it's so beautiful to witness because in those communities, in flow arts communities and in fire communities, you see people just opening up to everybody. Come play, come elevate, here, look at this, here, I'll teach you a new move. And it's elevating. What a beautiful thing. And it's connecting, right? Each of the temples does this, which leads us to love. The Temple of Love, which is ran by the beautiful goddess Shen. And it's quite a position, being the president of love, the president of the Temple of Love. Um, and this person, if you don't know her, and if you do know her, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. She just shines love out of her heart like the sun. And it is beautiful to witness. It's beautiful to be in her presence. And love's a very, very expansive word. And the Temple of Love is all about exploring different avenues of that word. And what it all comes down to is loving yourself. Loving thyself and embracing yourself, forgiving yourself. You know what? I'm not perfect. Do I love myself anyway? Oh, yes, I do. Oh, and it's expanding and growing, and I'm becoming more and more aware of it on a daily basis. I love myself so much. Does that mean it's okay for me to make a mistake? Yes. Yes, it is. And I can dwell on and beat myself up over a mistake, or I can recognize it, take accountability for it, and shift and move on. Shift and rearrange, right? Shift my perception, rearrange, new moment. Love thyself. And when we're loving ourselves, then we're not looking for love outside of ourselves. We're not looking to be validated, our worth. We find ourselves worthy of love. Why? Because I've been given it to myself. And so the Church of Flames and the Temple of Love is all about loving yourself and doing ceremonies and rituals and exercises and bringing people together to drop that shame, drop those judgments, drop that fear, and transform and transmute it into higher vibrational frequencies of compassion, acceptance, accountability, love. So, yeah, love's a big one. And then you got the Temple of Art. And the Temple of Art is ran, the president is also one of the most influential people in my life. It's taught me a lot and showed up for me huge. And he is art. He is art. And his name is Chris Coleman. And talk about a creator. I value and hold him dearly in my heart. And art is creation. We are creators. And so the Temple of Art is all about, who gets to dictate what is art? What do I find? Why? It's such a beautiful thing because it's somebody's creation, and everybody viewing that creation is going to have a different perspective, a different opinion on it. It's going to touch them in a different way. It's either going to touch them or it's not going to touch them. And everybody's gonna have a different opinion on it, and it brings people together, right? Art, art moves society. Rather, society wants to realize it or not. Art brings up controversy. Art brings up new uh, new thought forms, new thought processes, new perspectives. And, over the last 30 years, we've been seeing an increase in visionary art. And if you don't know what visionary art is, um, I check it out. Um, check out Alex Gray. Obviously, is probably one of the biggest visionary artists, and his wife Allison, also huge visionary artists. Um, and there's many other, but you start seeing that moving society, right? Um, same with music. Same with music, which is the temple of music. It, its president is Rain Grant, and she is an amazing. She blows my mind on a daily basis. I thoroughly one of my favorite things is when I can know somebody for years and they still blow my mind on a daily basis. Like, wow, how are you so amazing? I love that. I love having my mind blown. And what I love even more is having my heart blown. And it's also one of my favorite things to do to others is I love blowing people's minds. And I love opening people's hearts up. And I love that feeling. Oh, the feeling of love and connection. Oh, man. Yes. Yes. Um, and then we move on to uh, the Temple of Equality. And notice how all of these bring people together. And this one's saying, hey, all of the puzzle pieces are equal in this world of duality where it's full of judgment and yeah. Yet going back to my geodesic dome analogy of every strut being of equal importance, and when one strut is bent, the whole structure is hugely affected. Hugely. And uh, this is something that we at the Church of Flames are very passionate and looking forward to exploring with everyone, because when we stop trying to be better than one another, when we stop uh, judging people or putting people down, uh, and we start seeing them for their gifts and their beauty, then we shifted our focus of attention, like I was saying earlier, right? And that's going to dictate what we're able to perceive in our moment, how we're able to relate to one another. And in that, I'm really excited because the president of Equality is Erin Clavel, and she has served as our secretary for the Church of Flames from the ground up since it was a thought in my mind. She was actually one of the first people that I reached out to and called, and she's been at my side, creating with me passionately and with huge levels of commitment ever since. And and she's just barely. She's actually serving as both the secretary currently, because we are there's a secretary position open for the Church of Flames. Nominations are open for that position until August 13th, by the way. So, if you know the perfect person to be the secretary of the Church of Flames, which is a pretty important role um, in our organization. Please have them submit an application. Uh, Send it to me directly, or Ali Wicks, or Aaron. But preferably just send them all to me. I'll get them, and we'll go over them in our board meeting the week, the following Monday after the 13th. So, that being said, the Church of Equality, or the Temple of Equality, is uh, it's launching on Monday. Uh, the, it's launching via YouTube. There will be a YouTube video, and it'll happen every Monday. I believe at 1:11. I could be wrong about the time, but just check in every Monday on YouTube, and let's start learning and growing together. It's actually going to walk through the beginning, opening steps of what this church is all about. Because I'm here showing up to you as an equal today. I'm not perfect. I'm not better than anybody else. I am being conscious and aware and getting better and better and better on a daily basis, and I'm really entertaining certain thoughts. I'm really honing in on my practice. I'm really creating deeper levels of balance within myself. I'm gaining greater awareness of the power of my mind and my control over it, and I'm doing a lot of work within myself in the I. But I'm no better than anybody, and I'm not here to try to be better than anybody. I'm here to connect. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to be inspired. I'm here to elevate, to support, and I feel very elevated and supported by the people around me. I am surrounded by harmonious relationships that are based off of integrity and mutual benefit and elevating one another. I'm surrounded by chickens that are giving me vibrations of their beauty. And I'm out here on Gateway Ranch, uh, really being able to take in nature and not be overstimulated by things that I don't need to be overstimulated with at the moment. And I'm very grateful for that. So I encourage everybody that's watching this, that comes across this, to check in next Monday and start week one, the Temple of Equality, as we move through uh, really exploring that within ourselves and as a society, as communities. And I'm excited because the gene keys is in there, and exploring your gene keys later in I don't know where it shows up in her program, but I'm really excited because the gene keys uh, is definitely a part of that self exploration, right? And the more we can understand about ourselves and one another and how we work together, the more compassionate we can be. The more we can understand how I can deliver information the best to somebody. And when we start exploring human design and the gene keys, then all of a sudden I realize, like, how I get to work with people to get the best results and to honor their vibrational needs. It's just this beautiful thing that I really look forward to exploring together as a community, and inspiring further and further out. And I'm grateful for all of the people that have done so much work to get there. And yes, so thank you. Um, and then that moves us along to the Temple of Sustainability, which that is the future. If we're The system we're in right now is not sustainable, and You can smoke whatever you want to smoke in order to think that it is sustainable, and you can be on whatever. However, the current system and the current way we're doing things as a human species, not as America, not as China, not as any group or country, or as a species, the way we are doing things is not sustainable. It's not sustainable for our race, and it is not sustainable for life on planet Earth. So, sustainability really gets to be in the forefront of our uh, thought process. The opposite of sustainability is dependency. Do we want to be dependent on the system? Do we want to be dependent on anything? Or do we want to be sustainable and free? Well, I know what I want, and I guess that's why I started a church. Um, Sustainability is the answer, and is there, when you're fully sustainable, you are completely independent and free. And right now, it's kind of tough, uh, or it appears to be kind of tough to become totally self-sustainable. Um, and there's there's lots of people out there uh, living sustainable. However, it took them a lot of work to get there. And the more we work together as groups and communities, the easier and easier it's going to become. And the easier and easier it gets. And the more it works and works and works and works for everyone involved, right? Until it hits a point where all of a sudden that's the new norm, and that we're just doing sustainability because, duh, that makes sense. And so, um, the exploration of different solutions and different ways of doing things is really important to the Church of Flames. And we've gone through a couple of different leaderships in the course of the creation of the church until here and now. And uh, Rob Wright has last week got nominated and accepted, voted into the office of president of the Temple of Sustainability. And what an incredible man! What an incredible example of a beautiful divine human being. Do you know what? Oh my goodness, I trust with everything so much. I know 100% without any doubt that at the end of the day, Rob Wright is going to choose magnificently in the most trying of situations. And that's just so spectacular to know that. To know that about somebody. To have a friend that I know that about. And, it's really interesting because I know that about every single person that is in the position of a president of a temple in the Church of Flames. And that is a beautiful feeling. I am so grateful to have such beautiful, integrous, powerful human beings that I have 20-year relationships with. I know. Why do I know? Because I've seen over and over and over and over the character of each of these people. And I love them all dearly. And I know that each of them is incredible at uh, their own mastery uh, and in bringing people together in a loving space, and elevating and supporting and igniting the fire of creation within, the power, um, and that's really, when you feel that, and oh, and I know that there's a lot of people out there on planet Earth that have never ever felt that. And how blessed am I to have been able to experience that so many times in life? Quite often, actually. And a lot of that's because I took a huge risk, quit my job, cast out my 401k, and became a professional artist 20 years ago. And took my art project to Burning Man anyway. And that was a big risk. And sometimes, uh, quite often, the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff. And I am truly so blessed, so blessed in the people in my life and the relationships that I have. So very, very blessed. Um, and so with sustainability, you know, uh, it's really important right now. Some of the projects here at Gateway, we're working with Rob, and Rob's got a property, Little Hawk 2, in Agnar, Colorado. He's been living off grid for about 20 years. And he's definitely got some experience. Definitely went through trials and challenges and ups and downs. Come here, come say something to this chicken. Thinks he got something to say. You want to come over and tell everybody? I want to show you guys this badass chicken. Yeah. Anyway, I think he just wanted to be heard. And you know, that's the case with a lot of people. A lot of times people just want to be heard. And a lot of times in our own uh, our ego gets in the way of us wanting to be heard, that we're too busy wanting to be heard and trying to speak over other people, and that we're not actually listening, and people aren't being heard. And I think that and that moves me into the shadow state. That just seems like a good segue, because that's actually one of my uh, old school. It used to be one of my biggest triggers, and depending on what where I'm holding my state of conscientious awareness, it can still be a very big trigger for me. And it's something that I get to be on guard against, and aware of, consciously aware of quite often, especially if I'm uh, feeling like I need to talk. Like that's uh, a good reminder for me, a good trigger within myself, a positive trigger for me to realize, whoa, I need to slow down and listen. And sometimes I'm aware of that and consciously shift, and other times I unconsciously just feel like I need to talk, and I'm unconscious about it. So, um, but that's uh, that's the thing, right? Is uh, we all have shadow. There isn't a human being on planet Earth that doesn't have a shadow. Uh, and light shows us this alone. Look, I got a shadow right here. And when I have some friends that really don't like the word shadow, and that's because it's like lower vibration, right? Uh, and there's like the low C on a piano. There's the middle C. There's a high C. They're all C's. The one's lower in vibration. One's uh, higher than that in vibration. And then there's even higher vibration. And if you know, there's still higher vibrations, and we have what we can arrange in which we can here. So um, when we always have choice, and I used to think that, oh, of course I'm mad. Like I would justify my anger, and I thought it was completely normal for me to, like, I used to blow up and get really, really, really mad and very loud and just screaming, um, because that was normal to me. I grew up in a household where um, the louder your voice was, the more serious you were, and the more you know, uh, the more you were hurt, and the more, yeah, it just. But the truth is, as soon as I start getting loud, people stop listening to me. That's the truth, and the truth is that's really not normal either, um, and it's definitely not fun to be around, right? And I used to be like, well, why why do people take that person? Like I couldn't even fathom why people would end up being so upset at me afterwards, or and I would want them to forgive me instantly because of course I was fucking mad, right? And I'd have this justification about it, and I wouldn't have the accountability for it, and um, I think that what it really comes down to is, or what I want to um, express here, is that we all have shadow, and it's up to our superior selves, the higher notes, to govern the lower notes, and it's always a choice. And uh, there's always opportunity. And the more I'm being conscious and aware of my own tendencies, and the more I am conscious and aware of my shadow, the more I realize, the more I can be aware of, oh, well, that happens right before this, and so it's time for me to be extra aware and allow my higher self to govern my lower tendencies and choose uh, out of saying something. And it's really interesting because it's it's a form of mental alchemy, mental transmutation, and I feel like uh, when we are confronted with a situation in which we would normally do this, and it's that reaction, period, and the justified reaction thing. If you stop and don't do that, even when especially when I really, really want to, really, really want to, especially then, if I don't, and I choose not to, and I choose to be grounded, drop my and listen, all of a sudden portals open. And portals don't just open for me, they open for the collective consciousness in that state. And we're all healing, we're all co creating this reality. And it's always reflecting. And when we do something like that, uh, it opens up this portal where magic happens. True magic between two or more human beings. And um, that's really, that, like, uh, well, it's easier experienced than understood through words. So, if by chance over the next few weeks you find yourself in a situation where you would normally react, um, remember, let this be a trigger to remember that I talked about these portals, and See if you can not react and not do what you would normally do, and instead choose to do something else, something softer, something more graceful and open. Even if it's just listening, being still and listening, and see what happens. And if something happens, come tell me about it in the comments below, or shoot me a message and be like, "Yo, that was out of this world. Let me know your experience." Or, if your experience is exactly opposite and all hell broke loose because you chose to be still and in acceptance and listening, if all hell broke loose, tell me that too, because I really want to know. Because that would blow my mind, you know. But I would like to know about it. So, either way, I felt inspired to share that with you this week. If you want to get involved in the Church of Flames, please reach out to one of these temple presidents, or send us a message, send me a message, reach out. We're ready to start expanding into different states, into different countries. We have collectively, from doing Burning Man for years and years and years, Adrian has, I think, 19 burns underneath her belt and has been going for 22, 23 years. I've been going for since 2001, so that was 24 years ago. And I've missed a few. I only have 18 under my belt. Or no, I have 17 under my belt. My next burn will be my 18th, I believe. But uh, that's a beautiful thing about Burning Man, and is world community. I'm so grateful for Burning Man, and I'm grateful for raves. I'm grateful for conscious festivals. I'm grateful for local small conscious festivals. And I look forward to seeing the expansion of those, and I look forward to. We're all about plur. Where's all my ravers at? Peace, love, unity, respect. That's real. That's real, and it's real without all the drugs. You don't have to be. I think rave culture is really judged by modern society, and a lot of that has to do with the amount of drug use. Um, and I'm a big promoter of most psychedelics. I'm a big fan. However, there's a time and a place, and uh, I'm grateful for all of my experiences, and uh, I do feel like plant medicines are a great way to step into deep levels of self exploration and the expansion of loving awareness. However, so is breath, so is movement, dance, flow. Um, so, yes, uh, please reach out to the temple presidents. We are looking for people to get involved. Uh, there's all kinds of opportunity right now. Please send me a list of like your talents, your gifts, your superhero powers, resources that you have available to you. It's really all about teamwork makes the dream work. And the end goal of this dream is world peace. Complete world peace. The human race coming together as one, and like oming together, and vibrating in the hearts together across the planet. Can you imagine everybody stepping into connection and love and screaming out to the universe, we are one and we are united. Huh, that's the dream. That's the big dream. And that is a big dream. And the only way that that dream work is with teamwork. And by elevating that team. And by being the best version of my raw, authentic self that I can be. Not trying to be like anybody else, um, but being the best, raw, authentic me I can be. And elevating, activating through the act of being. So I leave you with this. Love Fest Day is coming up uh, on the 20th. We're really promoting. Right now is the time to be thinking about it, right? Because what we're really looking to do is expand love on a huge level, uh, one time a, a month. Okay, this happens every month. It's when the moon crosses Venus. It was originally coined by this beautiful being that I have followed since YouTube came out, pretty much, named Christopher Witecki. He's the creator of the 11 Steps of Serious Joy. He runs Namaste Today. And we as an organization have kind of adopted Love Fest Day uh, to pay it forward to the world, right? To I practice a lot of these things on a daily basis. Um, However, uh, at least one day out of the year, really focusing on spreading love. And so, what I am personally encouraging is three either random acts of kindness or three really well thought out acts of kindness that you plan out and you go and do for somebody in your day on the 20th, and it can even be on the 19th or the 21st, whatever. But on the 20th, which is Love Fest Day, this month, um, three acts of kindness. Uh, Reaching out to three people that have deeply affected your life in a positive way, and just sharing your love and appreciation and gratitude for them and how they have influenced and impacted your life. Just reaching out and just sharing with them, because it's always so good to hear how much you've impacted somebody's life. So creates beautiful conversations. And then uh, three acts of love for yourself, right? Uh, Whatever that be, like, and that could look like I'm gonna take a bubble bath and let go of my concerns of the world for the next 2 hours, and I'm gonna light some candles, and I'm gonna love myself in the bathtub, and actually, you know, uh, give yourself a foot bath. Give yourself time to do the thing that you haven't been giving yourself the time to do because you're too busy. Let it all go that day and just do it. Like, I played my guitar for the first time in a very long time. Like, probably all, maybe I've played it 3 times this year, but I was really, really busy and I had all these things on my list of things to do, and it wasn't Love Fest Day, but I could tell that I needed to give that to myself. Because what it is, my life balanced if I'm too busy to play my guitar? That's something I love to do? No, it's not. And so I put my big list of things to do away for a few hours and I went and played my guitar. And it was wonderful. It was, I'm really grateful I gave that to myself. And I think sometimes we get too busy, or we think we're too busy, but we forget that we're the ones that are in control, and it is okay. In fact, it's more than okay to just sit and do something that you love. Give yourself permission on that day and just do it. Okay? And then I also recommend looking yourself in the mirror or sitting down and meditating, and then, just actually physically giving yourself some love. Give yourself a massage. Speak the vibrational words out of your mouth. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And I encourage people to do it at least 9 times, like 3 sets of. What I have found is when I do that, and I'm authentically giving myself love, even if there's times where, well, it's been a long time ago, but there's times where I haven't felt worthy of love, or and to be able to say that anyway, by the time I'm done, I'm like loving myself. I'm trusting myself. I'm feeling whole and complete inside and worthy. And the more you love yourself, the more you speak these words and know that it is absolutely okay to speak these words. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And like, feel, when was the last time you gave yourself a massage? Like a full, like, actually just took the time to give yourself a massage. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And then, however many times you do it, say it, speak it, take the time to receive it and put uh, your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your left. I gratefully accept and feel this beautiful divine love for myself now. And sit in that and just feel it. And if there's somewhere that you feel guided to give more loving attention to, or if there's somewhere where there's pain, give it love. Send it love. We are vibrational beings of light. We are big, uh, really intense, biomechanical, energetic beings. Uh, we have all kinds of connections, different energetic connections. We have, and everything is controlled by this right here. This right here, this beautiful mind. And I am the master and controller of this mind. God of all my body and all microcosms within my body. I am the creator of everything in my life. That's accountability. I'm not looking to blame anybody for this happening or that happening. And in the past, absolutely I have. And so if you find yourself blaming somebody, don't step into judgment on yourself. Just notice. And if you choose to, notice and shift. Um, so I recommend preparing for Love Fest Day on the 20th. Put some thought into it. It happens once a month. The day does change from month to month. It's 28 days, usually. So uh, anyway, have a beautiful week. We look forward to our membership growing. Teamwork does make the dream work. So some of you have time, gifts, talents that you'd like to share. Bring them. Let's create. Some of you have an abundance of money out there. Bring it. Let's create. This thing takes it takes quite a bit to move all of the energy, rather that be talent and knowledge and wisdom or financial or in support, it all makes a difference and it all goes a long way and it's all very, very, uh, we're grateful for all of it and we welcome all of it and we look forward to growing and expanding and creating solutions and new ways of being and elevating with you together. So have a beautiful week, and whenever you're upset or things are going a little bit rocky and you don't know what to do, sit down and give yourself some love. And then, if you want to take it further, sit down and meditate and make that connection. And, it's a practice. And uh, things are often hard, usually, or difficult at first. And a lot of times, uh, it seems to be in human nature to want to give up if if things aren't easy. And meditation is definitely, for me, it's been a practice, and it's been something I've had to really practice at, and I'm getting better and better and better at it, and I'm seeing great value in giving myself the time and space to connect with my inner self, with the divine, with everything around me. And I trust that if you put in the practice, you will too. And that we will elevate together at the perfect time. And I trust. So have a beautiful week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Um, and if you like what you're seeing, we're actually going to have a wide variety of each of the temples is going to start activating here on YouTube and really starting to reach out to a global network. We are springing up new geometry in multiple states and have the intention of starting to activate some of our foreign friends and getting this thing moving in multiple countries. So we do have our PayPal up on our website and on our Facebook page. Uh, if you have some money and you want to donate it, please do so. It's tax deductible. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we're really ready to make some magical things happen. So, if you happen to be in the Colorado area and want to come visit Gateway Ranch or participate in Gateway Ranch or get involved in the Church of Flames in any way, please reach out and have a beautiful week. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Uh, and we look forward to continuing to grow. Aloha. Blessings. Mwah.